Welcome to the Get. That won't work. Okay. Welcome to the Get It Done podcast, the podcast where I'm talking to business owners about their business, allowing them to share their business, sharing their story, sharing their journey of entrepreneurship. I am basically talking to people that I do not know. So I'm talking to strangers. And I just think it just causes for a more interesting conversation to talk to people that I don't know about what it is that they are doing. As far as um I can remember, I have been in love with business and the journey of entrepreneurship. So to hear other people's stories is just a great joy to me to see that we are out here doing it, that they are out here doing it. So I've just found great joy in talking to people. So as far as today's guest, I'll go ahead and add her to the stage. Is your name pronounced Duna?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi,
Erin. How are
Duna. How
you?
are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So I'll just go ahead and let you introduce yourself and tell us about your business.
Yeah, so I'm emotional eating health coach. So I help women break free from food guilt and body shame when they don't have other coping mechanisms than turning to food to feel better. So the women I work with, they have an unhealthy relationship with food, with their bodies, with emotions, and actually ultimately with themselves too. So because I went through a big struggle with um, my relationship with food and body, when I was able to heal, I found my purpose and made my mission to help other women do the same, because I know that when we are able to heal this part of us, we can focus our time and energy on more important things than food and body and all that.
Yeah. And how long have you been in business?
I'm quite new. I've been in business for a couple years. So yeah, I actually started my own healing journey not that long ago. And I didn't even know I was an emotional leader. I just thought I had a problem with food. All these women are able to go work out and enjoy working out. I just hated it when people were like, "Oh, I'm going to the gym," and I'm like, why can't I be like you? Why can't I just enjoy it? For me, going to the gym would be I would be so self-conscious and thinking that everyone was looking at me, when no one is looking at you. No one
No.
cares about what you're doing. But that's what you think, right? And then with food, the same thing. If you gave me the option salad or pizza, no brainer, pizza. And yeah, and I would eat the whole thing, not even listening to my body if I was full or not. And I always felt drawn to comfort foods, chocolate, cookies, all the bad foods. And that was a big problem for me, that labeling food as good and bad, that creates an unhealthy relationship with food. Other things too, but that's a big thing too.
Yeah. And what made you like get to the point where you wanted to turn I guess your story into an actual business?
Well, it was so in 2019, I was traveling in Southeast Asia, backpacking on my own. And
Nice.
that was my dream. And I had worked hard to save money to do that with no return ticket. However, 2 months in, I had an accident, a motorcycle accident that required my repatriation. So my dream was over after 2 months.
Wow.
I had to go back to Switzerland. I needed surgery. I couldn't walk for 3 to 6 months, which was very, very hard because my dream was over. I had met someone during my trip, and we were getting to know each other. And so my accident separated us. Side note, today he's my husband, so that part went well, but it was
It's the
emotional.
same guy that you met?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, nice. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah, it's a nice story. So I went to Switzerland to get surgery and all that. I was separated from who is now my husband. COVID happened. So we all know what COVID meant for all of us. And then my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So there's a lot of things here that emotionally are very strong. And, I was in a very bad emotional moment. Um, and my dad said, I am happy with the life that I've had. Of course, I have regrets. We all do. But in general, I'm happy with my life. And that for me was oh, I want to be able to say the same when the time comes. And it's not that I was not happy with my life, but I was at war with food and my body. And if you feel at war and imbalanced in one of the areas of your life, and something so important as food, you need to eat. So if you have an unhealthy relationship with food, that affects your whole day, your whole life. And your body is your only vehicle and vessel to live this life. So if you feel at
Really
war
good
with,
point.
exactly, you cannot live at war with your body because it's your vehicle to live this life. So when he said that, these things came to me, and I was like, oh, I, I, I feel at war with food and body, and this is holding me back from being who I want to be and have the life that I want. So then I went, okay, what can I do? Went to the internet, and a lot of courses about nutrition and all that. And I'm like, look, if I want to know how many calories or what vitamins or wherever every food has, I can just go on the internet. I do not need to memorize that. There's something else that is missing. And that's when I came across the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, which has a holistic approach of health. And that really resonated with me, saying you can eat all the kale in the world. If you engage in toxic relationships, you're not going to be healthy and happy, right?
Yes.
And that really resonated with me, and that's how I started their coaching program. And as soon as I started, we had to do accountability coaching with peers. And as soon as we started, I was like, oh, this is what I was meant to do. This is my calling, this is my purpose. And because I know how much I've suffered with my relationship with food, I want to help other people do that. At that moment, I did not know it was emotional eating. I just saw that, oh, look, by applying these things that I'm learning, I'm really working on my relationship with food. But then my month of life, that was very, very hard. I mean, your dad is dying and you're there with him, accompanying him, and it's hard. And there is where I saw myself turning to food to feel better. And that's when I looked back at my life and I was like, oh, wait a second. That has been my problem with food, is that I was using it to cope. I was using it as the only way to feel better. So that's when I was like, okay, I got it. I found my purpose, and I found the kind of women I want to work with, because from experience, I know how hard it is to live with an unhealthy relationship with food and body.
Is that what emotional eating means? That you're just eating it to, I mean, eating food to feel better?
So emotion
I've never been clear on that when people say that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you asked then. Emotional eating is using food for other purposes than nourishment. And a
Mm.
lot of times is to feel better, to fill a void because you feel lonely, or, it's when you have, and it doesn't even have to be big emotional moments or situations, because maybe I had a stressful day at work, and when I get home, I cannot think about anything else than eating a pizza. And it's a reward for the bad day I had at work, because I don't have another way to cope with the stress that I'm feeling that I'm bringing home. So emotional eating is really using food for something else than nourishment, to feel comfort, to feel better, to feel a void, as a reward, as a celebration. Because when you're eating in those situations, you're not trying to nourish your body. It is very important to say, though, eating emotionally, it's just a normal part of life. You do it, I do it still, and everyone does it. Um, You imagine that you go through a very bad breakup and you just want to eat a pint of ice cream. We all have gone through things like that. And it's normal. We are emotional beings. And sometimes it is difficult to let yourself feel uncomfortable emotions. However, when food is your only coping mechanism, every time you're stressed, every time you feel sad, the only way you get rewards or you celebrate, every time it's only food and nothing else, and then you feel guilty and ashamed for what you ate, and you spend time and energy just regretting what you ate, promising yourself that it's going to be the last time, but the next time it's going to come. Because as long as you don't heal your relationship with food and look at the root causes that make you turn to food.
Oh, you're back. It froze a little bit. Okay. Okay, so how did you get to the point where you're like, okay, this is it. I'm just gonna do you do your business full time, or is it
Mhm.
part? Yeah. So how did you get to that point where were you working a 9 to 5 before?
I was a teacher, but well, I'm a little bit out of the norm because I was a teacher, and then I left everything to go to Australia when I was around 25 because I didn't speak English at the time, and I wanted to learn English to be able to travel. So there I quit my job, and then I stayed in Australia for 3 years, and that I was just doing cleaning and things without working 12 hours a day. And then I went backpacking, and then in Switzerland I was a teacher again, and then I came back here and I worked as a nanny for a while I was starting with everything. So it's difficult to say. It was not really a 9 to 5, but kind of.
Yeah, you're still working.
Yeah.
And when did you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna just dive in and only do this, and solely focus on your business?
um it was not that long ago. It was uh just a few months back, where you just need to start at some point,
Yeah,
and sometimes having that job, that side job, you feel that it holds you back because you have that
it's your
security.
crutch. Yeah,
Yes, yes. So breaking with that, it's difficult. And even when I left to go to Australia, I had a very I mean, I was a teacher, I had my car, my apartment, and breaking with all that. And then when you start your business, again, it's the security that you are kind of leaving behind. But you got to do it at some point. And
yeah,
then the way I operate is like, I try. If it doesn't work, at least I tried. I
yeah,
prefer regretting to try than not trying.
yeah. So
Mhm.
congratulations, you're doing it.
Yes. Thank you.
What did you want to do when you were a child? Like, what did you think you would grow up and do and be?
Um, I never had one thing, really. I never had just one. I changed a lot. At some point, I wanted to be a hotel receptionist. Why? I don't even know.
Maybe you got some good service somewhere. How funny.
Maybe.
So, are you surprised that you are doing what you're doing now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I am surprised because until 3, 4 years ago, I didn't even know it existed. To me, I thought that you need to be a dietitian or a nutritionist or a psychologist, but all these are very important, and I'm not pretending I'm any of those things. I am a coach, which means that I'm going to help and support the women I work with. I'm not going to tell them what to do, and I'm going to give them all the tools that work for me and my other clients. But I didn't even know this existed. So you tell me when I was 10 years old, you're going to have your business and you're going to be coaching women, I would be like, what are you talking about?
Like, what exactly is that? How
Exactly.
funny. Well, what would you say to that girl, to the girl that was wanted to be the hotel receptionist? What would you say to her today as the woman that you are?
Mm, don't stop dreaming and go for it. Go
Yeah.
for it. Don't let society rules and norms drive your life. And that was very important for me because I went backpacking alone, and that's, you know, when I went backpacking on my own, everyone was saying, "But you're 30 years old," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know, I know. I wish I would have done this earlier, but that's when I'm doing it, and I am
So
where I
if
need
you
to
were
be."
40, would you have done it?
Probably,
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah.
probably, because to me, age, I like every year that goes by, I like it. It is weird to think, oh, I'm 35. Really? I don't feel that age. I feel young and with a lot of
You are
vitality.
young.
Thank you. But you know, this thing that I can't wait to know what next year has for me. And I think that's a very good way to try to see it, because if you're constantly worried of, oh, and if next year I'm not in at this point, then you're going to be always stressed. And I'm not saying don't have goals. Of course, have goals and dream big and all that, but enjoy the process, enjoy and be excited for what's to come. And there's a lot of things you can control, great, and there's a lot that you can't, so enjoy the ride.
Yes, I agree. What are you grateful for today?
Oh, I am grateful for absolutely everything that has happened in my life, because even all, so one thing that happens, emotional eating doesn't happen when you uh, feel safe to sit, feel, accept your emotions. And that was not my case. I grew up in a house with a lot of drama. We would never talk about whatever was happening. So um, I went through very difficult moments when I was a child and in early adulthood. When I was able to confront all those things, maybe at first was like, oh my God, why did this have happened to me? Nowadays, I'm just like, thank you. Thank you. The accident I had in Laos that brought me to my dad again. Thank you. At the moment, it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But then I realized I needed to be here to be with my dad when he was diagnosed. So I really try to see every single experience I go through as, okay, this is happening because there's something I need to learn, or it's bringing me something. And that's why I really try to be grateful for really everything, every little thing and every big thing too.
Yeah, it all works together for our good. That's what God said. So far in your business, what are you most proud of?
Just starting the business, it's a big thing. And you know, at the beginning you don't know how to approach people, social media feels so awkward. And the first reel that I made, and nowadays it's not that I love making reels, because you always have the little voice that says, ah, you shouldn't put that, you know, this little self,
Really?
sometimes, yeah. It still comes sometimes, that inner self critic. But I believe in myself, and I am proud of what I've built and what I'm building, because I have big projects for myself and for my business. So uh, really, like 5 years ago, or a little bit more, 6 years ago, you tell me you're going to have your business, I would have laughed. And also,
Me
there's
too.
a yeah, right. And having the courage to do it, I think it's important, and we need to be proud of that. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, like I said earlier, it's important to at least try and learn from the experience.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me how it works. So, how do you find your clients?
Mostly on social media. You know, sending. I have a lead magnet. It's the ultimate guide to end emotional eating. So that is to help people start in their journey. But you know, emotional eating can come from deep roots. So sometimes doing the guide might not be enough. So there I am to help those women. So usually it's either someone that says, "Oh, I have a friend,"
Word of mouth.
or social media. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so a friend referred me to you. I contact you, and then just walk me through the steps so that I don't know someone may be watching and they
Mhm.
may be
Mhm.
interested.
So first of all, we would have a call to see where are you at now, where you want to be, and see if we are the right fit. See if I really, how can I help you? If we decide that we are going to work together, um, I always start by building a strong foundation. Meaning, we need to really discover why you are doing this. Because if you don't have a strong why, you're gonna get nowhere. You really need to. Because if it's just, oh, because someone told me I have to do it, then
Yeah.
we are not gonna get anywhere. We need to have
Mindset is very important.
Mhm, exactly.
Yeah.
It's very important to understand the why, because if you don't have that, then there's nothing you can grasp on in those moments where you want to give up, right?
Yeah.
Because those moments exist. There, when you do a healing journey and you need to do a lot of introspection and self-reflection and self-observation, it's not easy because sometimes you are confronted to things that hurt and uncomfortable. So and there are moments that you're like just like, ah, I don't want to do this anymore. So when you have a very strong why, you can go there, and that keeps you going. So that and also let's look at what are your strengths. It's a reminder of what are your strengths, your values, your passions and dreams. Because what we want is you to have the life that you want, and we don't want your relationship with food, body, and emotions to get in the way. So, what is it that you want? Let's dream big. And then the first thing we need to do is limiting beliefs. Because if for you have the belief that um, being sad is bad or eating carbs is bad, we can do all the work in the world. If that's ingrained in viewing the world,
Yeah.
any work that we do will just be superficial. So we really need to go to the root cause, to the root of your limiting beliefs, of the beliefs that you have around food, around emotions, about around your body, or even about yourself. Maybe you think you're not lovable because your whole life you've had some kind of message that you interpret as I'm not lovable. So if that's the way you feel about yourself, we need to go there. We need to go there and challenge those beliefs. So that's the beginning, a little bit of the program. And then it's a lot of I always send before our sessions to our my clients. I send them like a little form to reflect how the week was and the things that they want to work on. So then it's kind of more tailored to what they need, but always focusing on food, emotions, body. But that's more as we go with those goals in. So in the foundation we do what I explained, but also we set goals. So then we have a roadmap to where we want to go, and having those goals in mind, every session we can see, okay, what do we want to work on, and every week we do a little to build the foundations to get to those goals.
I love that. So have you found that like just do you enjoy run like do you absolutely love being in business, or is it just how do you feel about being in business?
What I love is coaching. Being in business, it's the part that I never thought about.
Oh, you're just like, I just want to do this, and you didn't know, like, oh, I gotta
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. That
all
that
this
was
stuff.
me. That was me. When I finished my coaching training, I was like, okay, and now what? So
Yeah,
I think that yeah, the business part it's a little bit the what's more it's more tricky because all the marketing and being on social media and emails, and there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes, and
yes,
those things take you away from being with your clients. So um, it's it's difficult to find the right balance, and I'm working on that. I'm working on do the things of the business that require your attention, and there's other things that they are taking time and energy from you. So if you can ask someone else to do it,
delegation.
do it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. So 10 years from now, where would you say, if you can imagine the biggest dream that you can possibly imagine for your business, what would that look like?
Let's see. 10 years from now, my business, I want to have group coaching, and it's something that I'm working on right now. Uh, and courses. I want people, I want to have a lot of resources so that, people from any kind of social economical status can have some kind of help, maybe courses or coaching one-on-one, group coaching, have different things that I can offer so that everyone can have the support and the help. And my idea is also to, I like, I've always liked to volunteer or help in some way. So I would like to be able to donate to nonprofits and things like this. So make an impact, not only with the people I work with in my business, but if I can go a little further, that would be really great. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. At the end of the day, we put our own limits, and it's important to believe in ourselves and to learn from every experience. You try this, it works, great. It doesn't work, okay, let's try another way. And the sky is the limit.
I agree. I love the fact that we can have an idea in our mind, create it into a business, and then while we're within that business, we can do whatever we want to do. Like, and
Mhm.
I think I get to talk to a lot of people, and one of the things is like a few business owner, I have business owner friends. Um but a lot of the times I always have to remind them, this is your business. You can do what you want. Like, you do what you want. You decide and you pick and you get creative. So
Mhm.
I love that portion of, I mean, I love everything about it. I'm just a girl who is just absolutely in love with business.
Mhm.
But I love that. I mean, the reason why I love it so much is because we take it and we create it and develop it into whatever we want it to be.
Mhm.
The goal, the idea for this podcast is that someone that is watching, someone that is listening, that is just simply scared to get up. And this is the whole reason for the podcast. Someone that is just scared to get up and do the thing. Hopefully we'll hear something that I say, that you say, that will inspire them to just get up and do it. Is there anything that you would say to the girl or to the guy that is just have some sort of fear to start the business?
Fear will always be there, because when we start something that we don't know, fear is normal. It's just so important for us to watch our thoughts and don't let your thoughts drive your life. You have the power to change your thoughts. So make your head a nice place to be. That's something I always say. Make your head a
That's
nice place to
true.
be. If
Yes.
your head is saying you can't, of course you can. Of
Yep.
course you can. Your
Take out
brain
the
is
trash.
yes, and your brain is trying to make you to make you safe. And this is something we need to understand. Your brain's goal, it's not to make you happy, it's to keep you safe. And keeping you safe means repeating patterns that it knows, even if the patterns aren't healthy. When you
Yeah.
get out of those patterns, like starting a business, your brain will be like, oh my God, what are you doing?
Yep.
So fear.
Goes into shock.
Exactly. And it's going to try to say, no, 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 this is not safe. Let's not do that. We need to override that fear. If there's something you want to do, but then your brain is giving you excuses, that is the sign you need to do that thing. And
Yeah.
it's scary. It is scary. The first time you go live, the first reel you do, the first podcast you go on, it is so scary. How damn good do you feel after you do it? How proud, how it's, when I think it's believe in yourself. I believe in you. I believe in you. We
Uh,
all have the ability to do it. We just need to be stronger than our fear And if I did it, if you did it, everyone can do it. I'm not special. I'm not more than anyone. So if I did it, anyone can do
I love that. I tell people all the time, I'm not this smart. Like, this is not me.
it.
It's all God. Like, but you have to, it has to start with the belief. So I agree. Thank you, Duna. Is there anything that we did not go over that you'd like to share, talk about, questions, anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you. Me too. Well, thank you for showing up. I will send you through text. I'll send you once everything is all done. I'll send you all the links to the podcast.
Mhm.
But thank you so much for showing up. And I will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye.
Bye. Episode 67. Like what? When I was making the I don't know, the thumbnail for the podcast this morning, I was like, episode 67. Like, I kind of took a break. I think I haven't recorded, I believe, in the last 2 weeks. I'm still kind of on break. I'm not going as hard as I've been. I'm just trying to get my thoughts together, get ideas together. But episode 67, like what? I'm still super excited, super inspired by each and every business owner that I talk to. Like Duna, she like went backpacking and then something happened. And then I don't know, maybe the situation, I believe from what I heard, the situation just inspired her to live her life and do the things that her heart desires, like really stepping out on faith and doing the thing, which is always a great inspiration to me. Like I'm always inspired by each and every business owner that I talk to. So I'm always grateful to hear you guys' story. If you are a business owner that would love to share your story, I would love to hear it. You can contact me on whatever platform you're watching this on. If not, you can send me a text. My number is 310-908-0468. Once again, 310-908-0468. Just text me and let me know that you're interested, and I'll send you all the information. But don't forget to thank God for your blessings. Don't forget to say your prayers. Don't forget to take care of your skin. This episode and all the episodes that I have recorded are sponsored by Matilda's Corner. All natural plant-based skincare services and products. We're located in LA. So if you need a facial, hit me up. Bye.